Hey everyone, this is Mama's Tea Time. We're three moms that are just spilling opinions. I'm Jessica.
I'm Katie.
I'm Rachel.
Yeah, so we're going to be reading some Reddit, spilling the tea, and giving our opinion. That's how we do. Are we ready?
I'm so excited.
Let's do it. Today I went to the park with my almost 3-year-old, and this happened. It says, my low ran towards the slide. It took me a minute to catch up. 24 weeks pregnant, so I'm not that fast at the moment. When I get over there, I see a little boy pushing my son. I go over there to tell him sternly not to push my son and that it's not nice to push other people. I removed my son from the situation and didn't think about it again. About 15 to 20 minutes later, the mom comes over with a friend and claiming I pushed her son. WTF. I explained the situation to her, but she's not backing off. And then she threatened to push my son, which I reply, if you touch him, I'll call the police.
Yeah, as you should.
She makes a call and two of her other friends show up. At this point, I'm still playing with my son in the sand pit. I noticed they were all looking at me, and for my son and for my own safety, I decided to leave the park. This all took place within 45 minutes. Her son apparently was 2 years old. She should have been watching him and done something about his behavior, but no parent was nearby. This all could have been avoided if she would have been watching her son and intervened. This is my first time dealing with this situation. Hormones got me crazy and been crying on and off since the encounter. I just can't believe my day out with my son got ruined because she couldn't watch or control her son. Still wondering why she thought I pushed her son, as I never would do such a thing. I don't believe in getting physical with an adult, let alone a child. What do you guys think?
So I wonder if she came off aggressive though, and the kid was like, but still, if she didn't touch him, then the mom's freaking out for no reason. But dang, 2 years old, I would not be letting my 2-year-old out of my sight.
No. My 11-year-old barely gets out of my sight.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's wild.
The world's crazy, so my kids...
Especially these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that kid is not... My kid will never go out of my sight. Like, no, 2 years old is really young. Like, aren't they still wobbly at 2? I don't know. I only have a 9-month-old.
So I think it's like, to me, I think it's like crazy talk to like bring your other friends and then accuse things. I also am shocked that she kept playing and staying there as long as she did. But I feel like I personally have been in a position, obviously not this aggressive where they've accused me of things, but where I awkwardly have to like get on to other people's kids. And you're like, okay, no, we got to wait your turn. Because like my kid's at the bottom of the slide and they're wanting to go down for like safety of my own kid.
That's why I'm wondering if she
so awkward.
I wonder if she like yelled at the kid and it came off like a little scary, because there's like a way of, they're a little kid, even if, what was it, the kid pushed him or what? Is that what it was at the beginning? Like the 2-year-old, the unattended kid pushed the other one?
Yeah, like, see a little boy pushing my son. I go over there to tell him sternly not to push my son. Okay, so
she did tell him sternly. So she probably did it in like a tone that maybe isn't what someone should do to a 2-year-old, at least like non-parent.
Her kid, but not somebody else's kid.
Like how Katie was saying, how she would like get on to someone. They'd be like, okay, no, it's, it's his turn. Like she probably went like, no, like stop, don't touch my son. And like that's a little scary for a 2-year-old to witness from a stranger.
Yeah.
45 minutes. Is that what it said? It went on for 45 minutes.
I'm like, I would have gone home. Probably.
Yeah, I would have. If they had more people show up and was threatened my son, and then stared at me in the park, I would have left. Like, there's no way.
I would have left after the first encounter, and I'd be like,
okay, I'd be like, okay, we're leaving.
Okay, son, this is how you don't act in public. Definitely. Lesson of the day.
But, I mean, it is awkward, though, like, when parents aren't really paying attention, and then
something happens.
And you have to because I mean, I've literally done that where I think I just did the other day where we were at the pool and they were just splashing or being dangerous. And I'm like, okay, we're being nice. But I wasn't leave my kid alone.
Yeah. Stop. Don't touch. And probably had a mean face too. I don't know. I guess I think they were both in the wrong a little bit at some point in the whole 45-minute situation.
Somewhere in the middle, it's the truth.
The whole thing could have just been handled better, in my opinion. I wouldn't go up to some kid and yell at him sternly. I'd be like, hey, let's have some nice hands. Let's be nice. I don't know.
We don't push. We have calm hands. Whatever it is. Friendly voice. And if it got to the...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. If it got to the point, then I'd be like, okay, where's your mom?
Yeah, and at that point, maybe talk the way you're going to talk. I mean, still be nice, but don't baby talk to the adult, obviously. But there could have been other ways to handle it without being stern towards a literal toddler who is learning how to use their words and might be confused on how certain actions could be fixed by being like, hey, no, instead of pushing, I don't know. They're 2 years old. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be yelling at a 2-year-old that isn't your own. Unless they're straight up going to attack, which I don't know if 2-year-olds do that, but I think it just could have all been handled differently. No need to call your friend. 2 friends. Yeah. To come back you up.
I think the intimidation, I wonder what was going through that lady's head.
They're both being protective of their children, which is great.
What was going through, to be I need my friends to come up here. What were you going to do? I would love to know the intention of...
the Jets and the Sharks or whatever from West Side Story. They're, going to battle each other in the streets.
What were you going to do? Jump her, a pregnant woman that's 27 weeks pregnant and her little 2-year-old son? What were you going to do?
That's a little crazy. That's me.
What was gonna happen?
Call my husband. Hey, come back me up because you're tall.
I did love how direct she was. Of if you try to do that, I'm calling the police. I feel I would do that. Yeah. You think you guys would do that?
Oh yeah.
I definitely would.
If you try to touch my kid, I'm calling the police. I would literally say that.
Yeah. Who says? Well, I'm gonna push your son now. Because isn't that what she said?
That's why I think it's her. She's more in the wrong. Because who wants to put
I forgot about that part
on a child?
You pushed my son. A, no, she didn't. B, that doesn't mean you get to do it back. Mm-mm.
No. So you're basically she's saying, yeah, that's wrong. You pushed my child. That's wrong. So I'm gonna go push your child and do the wrong thing too. What?
Okay, yeah, so other mom is a little wackadoodle for me. I'm going to push your kid back and I'm going to call my friends because I can't do this by myself. That's a little crazy.
But I think I would love to know what other people think too. I would love to know, do you think it was, who do you feel was in the right? What would people do in that situation?
Yeah.
I feel
yeah.
That's a hard, because I've been where it's okay, this is awkward. I'm getting onto this other kid that's not even mine, but.
Yeah, I still think maybe both a little bit are wrong, but one's definitely more in the wrong.
I do have another one that's pretty juicy.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
So this one's called, How Do I, female 24, have a come to Jesus talk with my husband, male 25?
About what? Let's go.
We have a 10-month-old son. My husband has not done a single thing for our son ever. Ooh, those are
that's a lot of words.
Statement. Was a huge jerk in the hospital for various reasons, and ever since then, it's nonstop. He thinks he shouldn't have to do childcare because he works all day, and even though I work from home and contribute financially, he says, when you make as much money as I do, then I'll change diapers and help out, because then you'll see how hard I work to provide for the family and how unfair it would be for me to come home after a long day and have to care for him. There's a ton of other things needing address, honestly, but it's incredibly hard to talk to him. As soon as I say we need to talk, he gets nervous and shuts down or ignores me. If I try to press him a bit to ask if he's listening, he snaps at me. So how do I start the conversation? What are some good points to make? I don't necessarily want to give him an ultimatum, but I would be lying if I said I hadn't been considering divorce lately. The biggest points I need addressed is help taking care of our son, apologizing, and backing me up about my choices for our son when it comes to his family.
Preach it, girl. Okay. This one got me heated. This one got me heated.
Is something,
I'm pretty sure I read this one the other day.
This is something.
I had a full discussion about this one.
Before we get started, this is something I see other women on moms' pages talking about. Like, I'm about to divorce my husband because of not contributing or feeling like that's a woman's job. Or so let's talk about what's your initial feelings. Let's go.
She's also providing financially as well, correct?
Yeah, so that's what
not
she said.
Not that that matters fully. I mean, it does to some extent, but she's still making money.
Yeah.
She's just not making as much as basically what it sounded like.
Yeah, he's like the breadwinner. She's also making some money, so she's working and
unless she's
doing everything.
Then I would be like, okay, well then if you want me to do all of this and you not help at all, then I'm not going to work and provide any more money. You know? Because that's basically her working 2 jobs. She's full-time mom, and I don't know if she's full-time or part-time, but she has, like, when does she have time to do anything for herself?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he doesn't even sound like he's willing for, like, 10 minutes to watch the baby while she goes and, like, showers. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting from this unknown man.
Yeah, because he doesn't contribute at all.
That's crazy to me because my husband would work 40 hours a week or more and come home every day. And if I needed him to change a diaper, feed a kid, he was more than willing to do it. Even take the trash out, wash the dishes, whatever.
We are all moms right now on a podcast. So that means either A, they're asleep or husbands are helping right now. And I also have other family here. But still, like, yeah, my husband will help. We talk about it. We're open about the communication of it. Like, yes, he works 45 hours a week and I'm a stay-at-home mom and I do TikTok. Like, that's what I do for my work. He'll watch him for a little bit just so I can have a break, but I'm literally in the same room. Like, he's holding him, playing with him, and we're watching TV together and I'm on my phone or something. But he's helping and we talk about it. We'd be like, okay, hey, I am working 45 plus hours a week. So, I mean, you'll still have to help me. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. Give me 10 minutes to go take a bath, or like something. Yeah. But I'm in the same thought process as that girl right there. I would not know what to do or where to go. I'd be mad.
Nope.
Yeah. So, I mean, she asked, so how do I start the conversation? What are some good points to make?
She said, should she give him an ultimatum? I would say, yeah.
She said, I don't necessarily want to give. She said, I necessarily don't want to give the ultimatum, but I'd be lying if I said I haven't been considering divorce. So she's like, if you're thinking of divorce, you're at the max. Like, you're like, I think the huge thing is about, like, this is a partnership. We are raising this child. This isn't just my child. This isn't just your child. Like, we are a team and thinking of it as a team. Like, when I can't give 100 or I can't you got to pick, or if I'm at 50, you got to pick up the other 50. If I'm at 70, you got to pick up that extra slack. And if he's like, no, I'm not doing that, then
what's the point besides maybe financial security? Like,
I know. Yeah.
Like, you don't get your happiness. It's literally just financial security at that point. And I'm like, I don't know. Is it worth it? Because to just sit there, that could trigger some, and I don't know how old's her baby? 10 months?
Yeah, 10-month-old son.
I feel like that could, like, re-trigger or trigger some, like, postpartum depression, like, some bad, or, like, something, and like, you know, you hear all those bad stories because people are probably also unhappy at home. And I don't know. I feel like she should put that ultimatum down and be like, hey, we have to have this conversation or bye.
Like, this is what I need from you.
He shuts down.
Like, just even the bare minimum, like, hey, give me an hour a day. Because an hour goes a long way sometimes. But, like, to not help at all, like, if my husband didn't help me at all, I just can't even picture that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even picture him not helping me. So that's just crazy. Like, emotions would be high. I would be in the same boat as this girl for sure, just not knowing what to do. That's crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I would just have a straight up conversation and say, this is what I need from you.
Yeah. I mean, even if it has to come down to it, be like, hey, you're not listening to me, so I'm going to text this to you. And like, hey, this is what's going to happen. And you're going to read it one way or another, or you're not, but like, this is what's going on in my head.
Yeah, I need you to read this and then process it on your own, and then when you're ready, come to me about it.
Yeah.
This is the time frame of how much time you have or whatever. Because they'll just ignore it if you don't give like a... Yeah, that's tough. My husband does a lot.
Yeah.
And he works full time. I work full time. Well, I'm off in the summer because I'm a school social worker, but it's a partnership. When I can't, he can. When he can't, I can. And if I'm doing things for our 2-year-old, he's doing the dishes. Or, you know, like we just split responsibility. Like,
exactly.
One of us is doing one of the things because it has to get done. It has to be. And so if he doesn't want to be a team, then he's not being a husband.
Preach it.
So then it goes more deeper than, it's like your vows. Like, it goes more deeper than just like caring for this child.
For better, for worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you need help, he should be your husband and help you, no matter if there's a child involved or not. Like, when you're down, he needs the help. Like, he needs to step in. When he's down, you need to step in. And I think that goes down to, like, he's not being a good husband first. In turns, he's not being a good dad. And that's hard to say, to be like, call someone a bad dad or a bad husband, you know? And then can you live with that? It goes down to like that question, like, can you live with that? I think this goes in a whole nother debate of like, when you think of like stay-at-home moms, you know, that whole thing on TikTok that's like, stay-at-home moms has it harder, or working moms has it hard. The controversy with that is so sensitive.
It's awful. I've seen so many, because like it just depends on your individual situation on which one's harder.
Like, oh my, like, why are we even comparing? Like, it's all hard.
Literally, motherhood is hard sometimes, no matter what. Like, whether you're working at home, working from home, I feel like that would be insane. But like at this stage in my baby's age, like, oh god, that's hard. Like, it's hard to even just do TikTok as a stay-at-home mom sometimes, because he's always like screaming or pulling my hair or hitting me. Because he's learning how to do movements and stuff. But like, that's crazy. That is wild. I can't even imagine.
I think motherhood in general is like the most like selfless thing you can do in life. Like, I didn't think I was a selfish person. Then I became a mom. And I'm like, I just want my time. And like... I just want to be able to spontaneously go to a restaurant or go. It's like, you
do
can't
a
do that.
podcast.
Yeah. No, I don't regret it at all. I love being a mom, but it was a reality check of like, oh, I have to take care, and I have to watch what I say. I have to watch what I do. I have to be very mindful. I'm shaping this little human.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think going back to that story, like, this, I feel like should have been a conversation that they maybe like had before getting pregnant. Like, did he want a kid to begin with? Because it didn't sound like he wants one.
I need details of like background story.
I know. I wish this girl would just come up on this podcast with us. So we can ask her all the questions.
When you got married, before you got married, did you talk about having kids? And if you did you talk about what that role? I think that's important for people like thinking about having a child, or having sex because it can happen no matter what.
Yeah.
What would that look like? What would that role be? Like, how do they see themselves as a parent? And because people are very traditional, like this guy sounds like he is, because that's kind of like how my dad was. My dad was very, and that's how it was back then. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and he worked and provided, and that was his job, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds really sad, but he was a good dad. Like, I don't want to say he was a bad dad, but that was just like the way it was, you know? And he was a second kid, so that's just how it was. So I wonder if that's how he was raised, and that's how he just thinks it is. Which I don't agree with, but
I still feel like that should have been a conversation at some point. Like, I even know there's couples out there that, like, the woman wants the kid, the husband's like, okay, you know, I'm down to have a kid, but it will be your responsibility. Like, there's people, like, not, I mean, I guess that is the same thing, like, but they're upfront about it, and, like, some women are okay with that. I like the help every now and then. I like to be able to go hang out with, like, catch up with some friends and get a drink and some dinner or something. Like, I don't do that often because getting ready and, like, going outside in the world, I don't want to do that all the time, but I've done it a couple of times in the last 9 months, and it's nice. Like, it's weird. The first few times are weird to, like, not, I mean, you're still a mom, but, like, to, like, take off the motherhood hat or jacket or whatever and be like, I'm who am I now? But because you're always just thinking about your kid. But now it's, like, a little bit easier. I can go out and do stuff and leave the baby, and I'm like, oh wow, this is nice. I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I hope she figures it out. Is there any update? Was there any update in the comments on that story?
Oh, I don't know.
Sometimes they post updates.
I know. I'd have to do some digging. Maybe next time I'll look to see if there's any updates.
Yes. And we can talk about it. That's exciting.
Maybe it'll be like a little plug of like, so update.
Yes. So stay tuned for the update on this lady and her husband.
Yes.
Hopefully we get it.
I know. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. Or maybe I'll try to write her. So what's the update? I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah. How are you? How are you, girl? First of all, how are you? Also, we're doing a podcast on your story. It's just a bunch of mamas.
We're fascinated by this.
I know. I can't wait to keep reading stories like this because it's fun to, like, dive into people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, we're just three mamas spilling the tea.
Spilling the tea, spilling our opinions, having fun.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get this out into the world. Anyone that's listening, make sure you go check us out. I think all of our handles are Mama's Tea Time with an extra E at the end. So y'all check us out on all the socials. Well, let me take that back. Not all the socials. YouTube, Spotify, and TikTok. Because that's where we'll be for now.